anche la prestazione di Silvia Di Pietro in corsia numero 1. Siamo al finale con Gretchen Walsh sempre davanti, Sarah Sjöström che cerca di recuperare, Sara Curtis che si piazza lì per la terza posizione, 23,55, incredibile, ancora una volta la magia di questa vasca. 23,55 significa record del mondo, e fammi vedere un po', caro mio, 24,09 Sara Curtis per il terzo gradino del podio, significa anche nuovo.
On June 27th, 2026, at the Sette Colli Trophy in Rome, Italy, at one of the most prestigious international swimming meets in the entire world, a 23-year-old American swimmer named Gretchen Walsh walked to the Olympic-sized pool blocks for the women's 50-meter butterfly final and did something that shocked the international swimming world. Gretchen Walsh swam the 50-meter butterfly in 24.51 seconds. That time set a new American record for the United States. It was the second fastest time in the entire history of the 50-meter butterfly ever recorded by any woman on planet Earth. And most importantly, it was significantly faster than Gretchen Walsh in direct head-to-head competition at an international meet. But here is the thing that makes this particular moment absolutely historic and remarkable. Sarah Sjöström did not just lose a swimming race. Sarah Sjöström is on a comeback journey, sport temporarily, to become a mother and experience motherhood, and she returned to competition at the prestigious Sette Colli Trophy in Rome. This was Sjöström's first international competition in the 50-meter butterfly since her pregnancy and giving birth. This was her first time racing this specific event since leaving competitive swimming to become a mother. And in her comeback race, after all that time away, she swam 25.05. That time is genuinely exceptional for an athlete on comeback after giving birth. That time is her fastest time since returning to competition. That time is faster than the lifetime best of every active swimmer in the world except for exactly one. But it was not fast enough. Gretchen Walsh was decisively faster. Gretchen Walsh is now the second fastest woman in the entire history of the 50-meter butterfly, and she is just 0.08 of a second away from breaking Sarah Sjöström's 12-year-old world record of 24.43. In less than 7 weeks, on August 12th through 15th, Gretchen Walsh will race at the Pan-Pacific Championships in Irvine, California. She will compete in the 50-meter butterfly, where she just set an American record. She will compete in the 100-meter butterfly, where she holds the world record. She will race against elite swimmers from every continent in the world. But before she gets there, you need to understand how Gretchen Walsh has become the most dominant sprinter in women's swimming and how she just defeated a legend on her comeback. Gretchen Walsh was born on September 26, 2002, in the United States. She is 23 years old. She swims for the University of Virginia, one of the most competitive and prestigious college swimming programs in all of America. She trains alongside world-class swimmers. She is coached by Todd DeSorbo, one of the most respected and accomplished coaches in the entire sport of swimming. Walsh came to prominence as a sprinter and butterflyer specialist. She was already elite in the 100-meter butterfly during her college years at Virginia. She was winning NCAA championships. She was competing at the highest collegiate levels. She was establishing herself as one of the best young swimmers in the entire country. But then something fundamental changed. In 2024, at the U.S. Olympic trials in Indianapolis, Walsh broke the world record in the 100-meter butterfly for the first time ever. She lowered Sarah Sjöström's 12-year-old record from 55.48 to 55.18. At the Paris Olympics, she won silver in the 100 butterfly, but established herself as a genuine medal contender at the international Olympic level. Since then, Walsh has broken her own world record 3 additional times. At the Fort Lauderdale Open in May 2026, she clocked 54.33, setting a new world record that put her more than a full second ahead of anyone else in history. She now owns the 13 fastest times in the entire history of the 100-meter butterfly. The second fastest woman in history is still Sarah Sjöström at 55.48. Walsh is more than a full second faster than anyone else in the world. The gap between Walsh and second place is larger than the gap between any woman's 100-meter butterfly and any other competitor in history. She owns more than 1/3 of all sub-56-second swims in the history of the 100 butterfly. She is the only woman ever to break the 55-second barrier. She is dominant. She is absolutely dominant in the butterfly events and sprint swimming across all distances. In 2026, Walsh has dramatically expanded her dominance beyond just the butterfly events. She has become a major force in the 50-meter freestyle as well. On June 19th, her training partner Kate Douglas set the world record in the 50 freestyle with 23.59 at the TYR Pro Series in Indianapolis. 9 days later, on June 28th, Walsh broke that record with 23.55 at the Sette Colli Trophy in Rome. Walsh is now the fastest woman in the complete history of the 50-meter freestyle ever recorded. She is also the fastest woman in the complete history of the 100-meter butterfly ever recorded. She is also the second fastest in the 50-meter butterfly. She owns world records and American records across multiple sprint events and disciplines. She also swam 24.51 in the 50 butterfly on June 27th, which is the second fastest time in history. This is truly unprecedented for a modern sprinter in competitive swimming. This level of dominance across multiple events at the absolute highest level is extremely rare. Walsh has become a sprinter of historic proportions. She is the complete package, the best in distance butterfly, and now the best in freestyle sprint. Her training group at Virginia is absolutely elite and world-class. Kate Douglas trains with her every single day. They push each other constantly. They are both world-class swimmers competing at the highest levels simultaneously, and they are doing it together at the same university, training under the same coaching staff led by Todd DeSorbo. Sarah Sjöström is a swimming legend and icon. She is a 6-time world champion in the 50-meter butterfly, winning the title consecutively from 2015 through 2024 across nearly a full decade. She set the world record in the 50 butterfly at 24.43 in 2014 in Berlin, Germany. That record has stood for 12 full years, untouched. Sjostrom has also held world records in the 50 freestyle, the 100 butterfly, and other sprint events throughout her lengthy career. She is a 6-time Olympian. She has competed across 5 different Olympic Games over nearly 2 decades of elite competition. She is one of the most decorated female swimmers in the entire history of the sport. Sjostrom won the 50 Butterfly World Championship, a record-tying 6 consecutive times. She dominated this event like no other swimmer had before or since. She was the undisputed queen of the 50-meter butterfly for nearly an entire decade. Her dominance in this event was complete and total. In late August 2025, Sarah Sjöström gave birth to her son, Adrian. She stepped away from elite competitive swimming to become a mother. She took time to focus on her family and motherhood. She returned to training gradually, understanding that competing at elite levels after giving birth requires careful preparation and complete recovery. At the Sette Colli Trophy in Rome in June 2026, Sjostrom made her return to competitive swimming at a major international meet. She competed in the 50-meter freestyle and the 50-meter butterfly, the 2 events where she had dominated for nearly a full decade. She was swimming for the first time in significant competition since giving birth to Adrian. Sarah Sjöström carries the profound weight of being a returning athlete in a sport that is evolving incredibly and rapidly at the highest levels. Swimming times are getting faster with each passing season. World records are falling more frequently than ever before. And while she was pregnant and taking time for her family, the sport did not stop and wait for her return. Gretchen Walsh broke the 100-meter butterfly world record 4 times in succession. Kate Douglas broke the 50 freestyle world record. The sport moved forward relentlessly. Sjostrom had to return knowing that she was no longer the dominant force she once was. She had to accept that younger swimmers like Gretchen Walsh had taken over the sprint events. She had to compete against athletes who had been training intensely year-round while she was pregnant and recovering from childbirth. But her comeback is not a disappointment at all. Her time of 25.05 in the 50 butterfly is exceptional for a post-pregnancy return to elite swimming. It is her fastest time since becoming a mother and giving birth. It is faster than the lifetime bests of almost every active swimmer except Walsh and Douglas. It is a testament to her training, dedication, and complete recovery. The sacrifice she made was the sacrifice of time away from the sport at the peak of her career. The sacrifice was stepping back from elite competition to become a mother. The sacrifice was returning to competition, knowing that the landscape had fundamentally changed and evolved significantly. Drop a comment right now and tell me what you think Gretchen Walsh does next. Do you think she wins multiple gold medals at the Pan-Pacifics? Do you think she breaks Sarah Sjöström's 50 butterfly world record before the Olympics? Do you think she becomes the greatest female sprinter of all time? I read every single comment you leave below. Todd DeSorbo watches Gretchen Walsh every single day in practice at Virginia, And he knows something that most casual swimming fans do not yet understand or appreciate. Walsh is not just improving incrementally. She is fundamentally redefining what is possible in sprint swimming. She is taking over events that have been dominated by other swimmers for years. DeSorbo saw Walsh break the world record in the 100 fly multiple times. DeSorbo saw her set an American record in the 50 fly. DeSorbo saw her break the world record in the 50 free. He knows what greatness looks like. He is coaching it every single day in the pool. He understands that Walsh is special, that she has the ability to become one of the greatest sprinters ever. What DeSorbo witnesses in practice is a swimmer who operates with laser focus and complete dedication. Walsh doesn't just show up to train, she shows up with purpose. Every rep matters. Every stroke is deliberate. DeSorbo has coached elite swimmers for decades, and he recognizes the rare combination of natural talent, unrelenting work ethic, and competitive fire that separates the good from the truly great. Walsh has all three in abundance. Her versatility across multiple sprint events is virtually unprecedented in modern swimming. The fact that she's not just competing but dominating in the 50 free, 50 fly, and 100 fly simultaneously speaks to an athlete operating at a level few ever reach. DeSorbo sees her potential trajectory and understands that the records falling now might just be the beginning of what's coming. June 27, 2026, Rome, Italy. The women's 50-meter butterfly final at the Sette Colli Trophy. The race where Gretchen Walsh would face Sarah Sjöström head-to-head in direct international competition. Gretchen Walsh came to the Olympic pool blocks knowing that she was fully capable of breaking the world record. She knew that Sjöström's 24.43 from 2014 was within her reach. She knew that she had been training specifically for this moment. She knew exactly what she was capable of achieving. The race began. Walsh came out absolutely fast. She attacked from the very first moment. She dove off the blocks with clear purpose and intention. She came up flying. She was hunting the record from the very beginning of the race. At the 25-meter mark, she was ahead of Sjöström's record pace. At the 40-meter mark, she was still on pace. She was executing perfectly. She was swimming the exact race that she had trained for extensively. In the final 10 meters, Walsh finished strong. She accelerated dramatically. She pushed hard through the finish. She touched the wall in 24.51, American record. Second fastest time in history, 151 hundredths slower than the world record. Sarah Sjöström finished in 25.05 seconds. Six-time world champion, legendary swimmer, on comeback, defeated decisively by Gretchen Walsh in head-to-head competition. Here is what comes next for Gretchen Walsh in the coming weeks and months ahead. Gretchen Walsh heads to the Pan-Pacific Championships in Irvine, California on August 12th through 15th, 2026. She will race in the 50-meter butterfly, where she just set an American record and came 0.08 of a second away from the world record. She will race in the 100-meter butterfly, where she holds the world record at 54.33. She will race in the 50-meter freestyle, where she holds the world record at 23.55. Sarah Sjöström will also be at the Pan-Pacifics competing at the highest levels. They will compete at the same championships. They will potentially race each other multiple times. This is the passing of the torch in sprint swimming, a legend on her comeback journey, challenging a rising superstar who is redefining what is possible in the sport. With world records in 3 different events and American records in multiple others, Gretchen Walsh is on a direct trajectory to become one of the greatest sprinters in swimming history. She has broken world records in the 100 butterfly 4 times in succession. She has set American records in the 50 butterfly and the 50 freestyle. She is the fastest woman in history in 2 different events at the same time. Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And if you want to be here when this 23-year-old American swimming sensation continues breaking world records and defeating swimming legends around the globe, subscribe right now and join the community. The greatest sprint freestylist and butterflyer of her generation is just getting started on her journey.